Hi, I'm Paul and this is a new video of DopeMaps. As you all know, the major split in Islam is that between the majority Sunnis and the minority Shiite. Today we are going to explain that 1,400-year-old divide. This first episode will be about the origins of the split. In a second video, we will talk about the current conflict taking place between the two sects. Here is a map of the Arabian Peninsula in the year 632. After the death of the Prophet Mohammed, a conflict for the leadership of the Muslim community has developed. In fact, some Muslims want to appoint a successor within the family of the Prophet, Ali ibn Abi Talib, who is the cousin and the son-in-law of Muhammad. But the Prophet's tribe, Quraysh, want the designation of the most faithful companion of the Prophet, Abu Bakr. It's Abu Bakr who has been appointed finally, to be the first caliph, an Arabic term which means, successor of the Prophet, and this event formed the first origin of the historical split between the two branches of Islam. Two caliphs succeeded Abu Bakr, and in the year 656, Ali became the fourth caliph of the Muslims. But the ruler of Damascus, Muawiyah, refused to submit to his authority. The cleavage then was intensified during the reign of Ali, between those who supported Muawiyah, the Sunni, and those who supported Ali, Shia Ali in Arabic, so the Shia. In 661, Ali was assassinated, and Muawiyah was designated as caliph, inaugurating the Umayyad dynasty, with its capital in Damascus. In 680, on the Sunni side, Yazid, the son of Muawiyah, was designated the caliph, as appointed by his father. On the Shia side, Hussein, the son of Ali, succeeded his father too. In Kufa, an Iraqi city that has always been the nerve center of Shia activities, Muslims sent out numerous letters and a succession of messengers, urging Hussein to come in Kufa to guide them, and release from the tyranny and oppression of the Umayyads. In 680, Hussein had responded to these invitations. When he got closer to Kufa, forces loyal to Yazid prevent him from going towards Kufa and from returning to Medina. Hussein chose then to go to Karbala. Upon his arrival, a battle known as the Battle of Karbala took place, between a small group of the supporters and family members of Hussein, and a larger group of soldiers loyal to Yazid. Hussein was killed and beheaded, along with most of his family and companions. Neither the people of Kufa nor the rest of Muslims supported the Prophet's grandson. The Battle of Karbala is considered as the second main cause of the historical split between Sunni Islam and Shia Islam. This event is commemorated by Shia Muslims as a day of mourning for the martyrdom of Hussein. It's the day of Ashura. These commemorations have traditionally included violent rituals of mourning, which have been condemned by many Shia religious authorities recently under the claim that such practices are wrong. For more than 8 centuries, Shia Muslims have been excluded from political power, until the year 1510, where the Safavid dynasty took control of Persia, and imposed Shiism. This clearly differentiated Iran from the Ottomans and the Arab Muslims, who were Sunnis. It was perhaps to perpetuate the distinction of Persian from Arabic culture that attracted the Iranians towards Shia Islam. This distinction is the third main cause of the split between Sunni and Shia Muslims. Here is a world's map that shows the distribution of Muslim population. According to the newest report from the Pew Research Center, there are 1,600,000,000 Muslims in the world. Adherents of Islam constitute the world's second largest religious group. An overwhelming majority of Muslims are Sunnis, while an estimated 10 to 13% are Shias. Ibadi Muslims are the lesser-known branch of Islam. They make up 0.1% of total Muslims, and are concentrated mainly in Oman. Now, let's see closely the distribution of Shia Muslims. Shia Muslims constitute the majority of the population of Iran. In fact, 1 Shiite Muslim on 3 lives in Iran. The majority of the population in Iraq, Azerbaijan and Bahrain are Shia. There are also some Shia minorities in some countries where the majority is Sunni, such as Yemen, Kuwait, Syria, Turkey, and Saudi Arabia, but also in Afghanistan, Pakistan, Lebanon, and in India. There were always periods of conflict and periods of peace between Shia and Sunni, until the second half of the 20th century, when a popular uprising in Iran took place in 1971. It's the Iranian Revolution. This event resulted in the toppling of the monarchy, and led to the establishment of an Islamic Republic in Iran. Ayatollah Khomeini, the leader of the Islamic Republic of Iran, adopted a new regime based on the doctrine of Wilayat al-Faqih, which means the guardianship of the cleric. Moreover, the hatred of the United States of America and Israel was central to the Republic's identity and ideology. In fact, Khomeini occasionally used the term Big Satan to refer to the United States, and Little Satan to refer to Israel. Anti-Americanism allowed Iran to claim leadership among all Muslims, even Sunnis, which allowed Khomeini to call for spreading the Islamic Revolution. On the other side of the Persian Gulf, Arab Gulf countries felt threatened by Iran's regional policies and intentions. First, because large Shia minorities live in these monarchies. Secondly, because the sacred sites of Islam are located in Saudi Arabia, and that's why Saudi Arabia receives over 1 million of pilgrims each year, Sunnis and Shia. Moreover, the Saudi royal family has historically derived its legitimacy from Wahhabism, which is a religious Sunni movement that considers that Shiites are not Muslims. In a nutshell, the Iranian Revolution of 1979 has balanced equilibrium of forces in the Middle East. In the same year, in Iraq, which is a secular state where the majority of population is Shia, but where the power has always been held by Sunnis, Saddam Hussein came to power. In September 1980, he launched a military attack against Iran. The objectives of the war were to resolve the border dispute over a region known as the Shah al-Arab, but one of the objectives was to prevent any eventual revolutionary contagion. That's why Iraq was supported by the oil monarchies of the Gulf, while Iran was supported by Syria of Hafiz al-Assad. First, because al-Assad is from the Alawite, a sect of Shiite Islam, but mostly because al-Assad and Saddam Hussein challenged each other over being the leader of the Arab War. So, on one side, there was Saudi Arabia, an oil-rich country, guardian of the holy places of Islam, defender of the Sunni interests, but also of the Western ones, and therefore allied to Iraq. And on the other side, Iran, defender of the Shiite interests, spreading a propaganda based on anti-imperialism, and allied to Syria. As you can see, the crisis was obviously related to the seek of regional power by each country, much more than religious issues. In fact, both Saudi Arabia and Iran are challenging each other for greater influence across the Middle East. For now you've learned about the early historical origins of Islam's split into Sunni and Shia. We also talked about how the Iranian Islamic Revolution has changed the Shia-Sunni power equation in the Middle East. In the next episode of DopeMaps, we will try to understand the current crisis and conflict between Sunni and Shia Muslims. Moreover, we will talk about the new international actor, Daesh, the Islamic State, and its role in this crisis. Until then, thanks for watching.